So you started selling your product on Amazon. You created a fantastic listing. However, did you check the translation of your listing? Whether you're selling on Amazon UAE or Amazon KSA, your products and your listings are going to be translated into a different language, Arabic. And if you want to sell in different marketplaces, you also need to think about translating your listings from English to the local dialect. If you want to learn the proper way of translating your listing and keeping it optimized, then this is the video for you. Are you ready? Let's get to work. In the UAE and KSA, when you upload your listing in English, after some time, the catalog team of Amazon translate it through probably a system very similar to Google Translate into Arabic. So it's already there for people who use Amazon in Arabic or Amazon in English. However, is the translation enough for native Arabic speakers to be interested to purchase your product? And what if you want to sell that product in different marketplaces like Germany, for example, or Sweden? Can you rely on regular translation? And what are the pros and cons of just translating your listing via Amazon service or just Google Translate or just a regular translator? All of this information in my interview with Omar, co-founder of Margin Business. Let's see what he says. So Omar, tell me a little bit more about Margin Business and how you got started with. We're primarily focusing on translation in different languages and optimizing listing for today's video. So how did you get started?
Okay, it's all started back in 2010. My wife, the co-founder, she was already on translation projects like here and there, figuring out what to do. Because she left her corporate job because of our first child. And she definitely didn't want to go back anymore. So she was trying to figuring out ways. So I was still working in corporate. Good job. I was traveling a lot, the position went higher and higher, and I got in because the translations needed the translators. The company needed German speakers.
Yeah. So
I was doing on the side as well the German translations for not only for Amazon. This was not Amazon yet. We did some German translations before. And then suddenly there was a client which needed a lot of Amazon translation in German. So we said, okay, let's just do it. So I went full in and she went as well in. And on top of it, I had consulting clients on the side.
Yeah. And
still the corporate job, which made me work like, I don't know, crazy hours, 16 hours a day and few hours of sleep. And, until I balanced it out. And I left the corporate job and I went all in for translation at that moment and consulting.
I find that a lot of people, when they start their Amazon journey, when they are creating a listing, they think, okay, let me focus on the keywords and pump in all of those keywords into the copy without thinking that, actually, human beings are the ones who are reading not only Amazon's algorithm, but human beings are the ones who are reading that text. And the second thing is, I found that a lot of people say, well, it's just text. People don't tend to read. People just tend to see images. So I'm just going to write any text, even if they have no marketing background, no background that helps them create this type of text. And they just don't take it as seriously because they forget that this is the only interaction that they have with their customer. Like your listing is the only interaction that you have. So you have to put all of your energy into this listing in order to be able to convince somebody to purchase your product versus somebody else. That's how important it is. So with that being said, I know you have a lot of, I know you've seen this a lot. Why do you think translation in particular and the words that you use in your listing, why is that so important? Let's talk a little bit about, localized, because you also said localized dialect.
Localized.
Like, how do
Yes.
people actually talk in that country where you intend to sell?
For example, for countries like Germany, they're naturally very how can I say, very very skeptic with everything,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you address a German, for example, directly translated from an American listing, you're very aggressive with them.
Yeah.
It won't work. So you need to win their trust.
Yeah, yeah.
And you win their trust by speaking their language and really being detailed in how you address them. Not too harsh, but as well how they like it. I mean, there is a typical phrases which you use in the first bullet point where you really get them listening to you. And if they don't listen to you in the first bullet point, the second, third, and fourth, and fifth bullet point is just forget about it, and they don't even scroll down to the A+ content or the description.
For sure.
So this is one of the first points. The second point is to connect emotionally. They need really to feel you, it's, like I said, it's like they need to see themselves riding on the bicycle, or using the microphone to for the
do
podcast.
A meeting or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
They need to see themselves and they're like, yes, that's me. Okay. Yeah. Click. And we got it, next one.
Yeah.
So it needs to connect very fast and very quickly because when you go, I mean, you buy on Amazon, I buy on Amazon. When I go on Amazon, I go there already with my credit card in my hand, I go and I search, and I go in, I don't, sometimes, okay, it can happen that I have like 110 articles in my basket, but normally the process is go, buy, and that's it. So this is, and one last very important point. What we have seen a lot in like emerging new markets, like Sweden, for example, there have been many cases, which is, I mean, at the end it's funny, but the wording itself is not funny because there have been rap seed has been translated from English into Swedish, and in Swedish it's rape, sexual assault. So,
okay, that's a problem.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this one went viral actually,
yes.
And the Swedish customers didn't think that it was funny at all.
Of course. So, of course, it's not. Yeah.
This was a Google translator. It was not some translator. A translator would not have done that mistake, obviously.
Of course.
But translator is not enough. There needs to be Amazon trained. But anyway, let's just go. This is, for example, something very important. It's just one example. I'm sure you can have, when you go to the Polish market, there's other examples like that. Or if you go from one of the Arab markets, let's say North Africa, let's say Algeria or Morocco, and then you begin to Google Translate for the UAE or for Saudi. I'm sure there's wordings which are not used and which makes it funny, and they will say, "Whoa, what is that? Why?"
It's
so
even if it wasn't like something that's bad, it's just a word that it's too formal. It just doesn't connect. It just doesn't connect with someone. So it's good that you touched on that, the idea of the UAE and KSA, because for me, I think this is an advantage for anyone who wants to start or is currently selling in the Middle East. Sure. It's because you can actually see what happened on Amazon.com, what happened on Amazon Europe, and then you can see what people did, how they succeeded, and how they failed. And you can implement that in a new marketplace and avoid all of those mistakes. So you are primarily very much an expert for Amazon Europe with all the different dialects. How do you think these ideas can be translated or can be migrated into somebody's listing, anybody who wants to sell on Amazon in the UAE and KSA, which is made of two languages, English and Arabic. So what tips can you give someone who's starting their journey? What should they do? How they should create copy, and how they should market their listing correctly?
First of all, they should never have a set it and forget it strategy. Like that means that you have an initial investment. Yeah. For example, let's just say, somebody get a translator who is knows a little bit about Amazon, okay? Because there are new markets, they think, okay, that's not so important, but let's just have that scenario.
Yeah.
They put it in, okay, listing is not selling, okay? The copy is good, the wording is correct, but the listing is not selling. What is the problem, okay? So they need to optimize the listing and as well go with the flow. So because these are new markets, they will, because now keywords, I'm not sure, with the keywords now in the UAE and Saudi, they are pretty much higher than the ones in Europe now, like Netherlands, and because they're very low at the moment. Netherlands and Sweden, there's nothing going on, but it's coming up now in the keywords in both of these markets. So it's very important to go with the flow, and once you see there's new keywords, to put them into your listing. So, and for this, you need as well to change all the time your listing. Changing is not like changing the whole phrase, but looking at other listings, how do they evolve? What do they do? What do they do better? Is the picture maybe better? Let's see if that picture works,
So the idea is that you're not taking your current American listing, for example, and just translating it and plopping it into a different market. The idea is that you are adapting that product to a different market, to a different culture, and to a different client. So even if it's in the same marketplace, like the UAE, for example, somebody who uses Amazon in Arabic is not the same type of customer that uses Amazon in English. So just relying on Amazon's translation, which is a Google Translate from English to Arabic, is definitely going to be a problem, because they're going to translate word by word without applying that listing into somebody from a different culture that speaks a different language and potentially has a different mindset, maybe, who knows. So that's what you're trying to explain. This is your business, and if you want to make it successful, you need to work hard in order to make it successful.
Exactly.
So, yeah, because I know you get a lot of people, that contact you who are most probably not having a good experience on Amazon. So they're like, "Oh, help us."
That's the thing. Yeah, that's you get people who say yes, who saying help us, but then you need to and they think it's magic, with one tweak everything is done. No, it's like I said, not to have a set it and forget it strategy, because after we have worked on it, we have to work on it again and again and again and again and again, because it's really a long-term project. And he has to put PPC in it, and as well, like you mentioned. Let's go just in a country, expats in the UAE with the local UAE, they will even react differently to pictures, for example. So you need to, because you cannot change the pictures in a listing within a country.
Yes,
you have to tweak even the pictures a little bit, that all of them respond to it. So, and as well, the A+ content need to differ from country to country.
Of course.
If it don't differ from country to country, then the whole evolution process has not kicked in. So we call this culture-specific micro-optimization technique.
Omar, thank you so much for your time. I just want to tell everyone that you have a fantastic podcast on YouTube. And I want everybody to, everybody who sees this video, I want them to go ahead and check it out. I will leave the link in the description box of this video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Omar for being part of the video and for his fantastic knowledge. Of course, if you want to reach out to him, I'll leave all of his information as well, of the information of Margin Business, of course, linked in the description box of this video. But for anyone who wants to learn how to translate their listing properly, so Amazon are already translating your listing. I'm primarily talking about Amazon Middle East here. So they are primarily translating your listing for you. But if you want to use a professional translation service, or somebody who knows how to optimize the listing in a different dialect, then all you need to do is open a case with the Amazon catalog team and tell them the mistakes and the text that you want to be changed in the other language, which is Arabic in this instance. And then they will update it and change it for you. So it is automatically translated. If you find there's something wrong with the translation, just open a case with Amazon Amazon seller support with the catalog team and let them know what changes you want, and they will open a ticket and make those changes for you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.